Hello, true believers. My name is Mindy Wheeler, and today I am covering Northwest Indiana Comic-Con.
So you got us blocked from C2E2 because you got mad that Mike made a Facebook.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Well, we know
we were going to worry about later. Don't yell at my wife, so get out. Don't interrupt me. Don't yell at my wife. You won't get yelled at. Leave before you're arrested.
So I have been hearing about this show for at least a year by the local comic book shops saying how great of a show it was. So I've actually been applying and trying to get in contact with the show owners, Brian Grabinski, for a year, but I never heard back. And that's okay. This is me separately. So then not too long ago, my husband, Mike Wheeler, got a hold of Brian Grabinski on Facebook about our indie comic book news magazine, Comics Illustrated. They had a discussion back and forth about it. Mike told him what our product was about and showed him a preview of it with a PDF of the magazine. After that, Brian Grabinski blocked Mike without explanation.
So after notifying us that he didn't want us at the show, dipshit blocks me on social media.
Which is what you did.
Yeah. I did, because I told you.
So I'm not dragging your name through the mud.
Why would you block me?
So we're going to go ahead and look at the post that Mike made that was so offensive to Brian. Mike, on February 5th, it's February 10th today, the first day of the show, said, so there's this little local show, NWI Comic-Con, that we applied to exhibit at. Way smaller than C2E2, that accepted us, by the way. So after notifying us that he didn't want us at the show, dipshit blocks us on social media. What the hell? Fine. Tell you what, I'll show up outside your show and I'm going to hand out 10,000 flyers that say, find us at C2E2. You can't out-dick game me. And here is the proof between him and Brian Grabinski of their conversation. Mike says, I can send you a Google Drive link if you prefer. He said, yes, please. A Google Drive link would work best. Thanks. That's when Mike sent him a free PDF of one of the issues. Mike said, well, hell, I can even swing by and hand you a hard copy of this month if you want. Later, of course. Something to take to the panel or mail it to you. December 3rd. Hey, Brian, looks like you guys didn't let us in. Did you remember to tell them it would be for our indie comics news magazine? And then Mike was blocked. After Mike made this post, the show page blocked him as well. Like, we didn't get a warning that we were not welcome there until we were leaving. So we get to the show and we were about to leave, actually. I ran into several backers, which was really cool. I went there in large part with the intent of writing an article. So I was gathering information, what the exhibit floor looked like. My first critique was nobody could find like which building it was when you went into the parking lot. It's a very small kind of show. And I started gathering my information from there. And I was collecting all these positive things, even though Brian blocked us from, or blocked Mike. So then we had made our rounds and then we were about ready to go. We really didn't stay there for too much longer. Here's my band. We purchased tickets. On our way out, right there at the front, all of a sudden, we've got a security guard saying, are you Mike Wheeler? Going up to my husband. And he said, yes. And he said, get out.
Well, and what your video doesn't show is how they that first employee initially approached you guys was extremely aggressive. He immediately just started saying, that's it, you're out of here. You're Mike Wheeler, that's it, you're out of here. And there was no conversation, nothing like that. It was just, he immediately was trying to throw you guys out. And
Dave was actually there.
Yeah, you're giving a first eyewitness account, guys. Dave was there. We were talking with Dave. So, please,
we
Dave,
were signing
continue.
his book. We were signing autographs for Dave.
We were going, why? And he said, well, because you did that. And the security guards were really worked up. So what did we do?
What do we do, though, sir?
I will show you in a second as soon as I find it, but it really doesn't matter. That's my wheel.
You're kicking
What are you talking about? I ain't running your name through the mud. How? Yeah, I'm sure. Show me where I did it. Everyone was saying that you were running my name through the mud.
No.
Well, no.
We're going
that's
out
not.
saying and gossip. It would be nice to have some confrontation because we bought tickets and we're not sure what is going on.
The expression dragging your name through the mud means to publicly say false or bad things that harm someone's reputation. Mike did not make any false claims about Brian whatsoever. And Mike has every right to protest. So here, let's see. Definition, protest. A statement or action expressing disapproval of or objecting to something. And Mike had every reason to do that. We do have a right to the freedom of the press, which has been sadly forgotten by a lot of people, I think, in the comic book industry. And it is okay to have some transparency and accountability, which I do not think this industry really has had for a long time, which is why we have some of the problems we have today, such as a showrunner thinking they can just contact other shows and get people banned, which is really not okay. Everybody has a right to try to run their business in this country. And I run a business and a very successful one in its own right. We've done very well. We have more happy customers than I can count. And we have every right to exhibit at any show that would accept us.
So you got us blocked from C2E2 because you got mad that Mike made a Facebook post.
can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Wait, well, you know, we
That we were going to worry about later.
Don't yell at
Get
my
out.
wife, dog.
Get out. Don't interrupt me.
Don't yell
And
at
you
my
won't
wife.
get yelled at. Leave before you're arrested.
Let's go. Ain't no need to raise my
She's going to interrupt me. I'm going to raise my voice.
No, you're not. I'll call your fucking sergeant.
I am the sergeant.
Then I'll call your captain, dumbass.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Because this is the part that confused me about that whole video. Is it seemed like you were having an interaction with the two people who were running the show. And it seems like that interaction was very consensual. And it was argumentative and it was obviously heated, but it was a conversation. And then the security guard or the police officer, wherever he was,
They
stepped
called
in.
the police on the radio. If you notice, he goes, "Can I get the police over here?"
So it almost seemed like you were continuing it, and then they cut you off in the middle of the consensual engagement. And that's where it seemed to get where that officer raised his voice. And that's where it seemed for me that the arrest came out, because you had an officer who wasn't getting his way in that circumstance. But meanwhile, you're having a consensual where they're trying to explain to you a reason why they wanted you to leave. And then that officer is cutting you off, which further created really the escalation of a threat of arrest. Because once that's thrown down, now we're not entering fuck you, no, you, fuck you. We're entering, if you don't leave, you're going to be in handcuffs. And that's a very different circumstance than anything else, where that's going from 0 to 90 in 10 seconds or less.
Exactly.
And that got really, just watching that. And as somebody who, if I was just even as a fan seeing that interaction, I don't know if I would feel so comfortable as a fan and a spectator at that show seeing an interaction like that going down. And because that's the part that was disturbing to me. Not so much that they were asking you to leave, but how fast it went from we're having a consensual conversation that's an argument to getting to an arrest.
I also intend on filing a complaint against the officer. It was a little hard to see in the video, but he got right in my face and yelled right here. He tried to justify this very aggressive behavior by saying that I interrupted him. But if you look at the video, I was not even talking to him. I had my face and body turned in the direction of Brian, and I was addressing Brian, continuing a conversation. And I was actually trying to tell him, do you realize that we can file a lawsuit against you, was what I was trying to say.
You know you can't do that.
That we're going to worry about later. That we were going to worry about later.
Hey, go yell.
Also, I'd like to know why his hand was on his service weapon. Was he planning on shooting me? Additionally, I was not the one that Brian wanted kicked out of the show. It was Mike. So why was I being yelled at?
So it is actually interference to go contact another show that we have a contract with and get them to cancel us. We were willing to leave based on his hurt fifis over a Facebook post. But he does not have a right to interfere with someone's business.
So, under Indiana law, interference with a contractual relationship claim requires 1. Existence of a valid and enforceable contract. We do have a valid and enforceable contract with C2E2. 2. Defendant's knowledge of the existence of the contract, which Brian knew that we had a contract with C2E2. 3. Defendant's intentional inducement of breach of the contract. As Brian admits, he did do that. 4. The absence of justification. If you consider someone airing their opinion on how you blocked them on Facebook and how that was upsetting, and you find handing out flyers to C2E2 to be a cause to cancel someone's appearance for C2E2, and somehow flyers are justification enough to cancel someone from a show, then you're on crack. And 5, damages resulting from defendant's wrongful inducement of the breach. So should C2E2 cancel on us, we will be filing a lawsuit for tortious interference on Brian Grabinski.
Or lap, and then we left, and as we were walking out, that's when we encountered Brian and then that other employee. And then that's when I told him, I said, look, you know, I've been coming to these things every year. I said, and they've been great. I said, but you have to understand that if you are going to have an online presence, you voluntarily are putting yourselves online. That means that there's going to be people that aren't going to agree with you. They may say things that you don't agree with. And the fact that you guys had to make a scene here in front of all these people, and especially in front of Mike and Mindy's children, over something that he personally was upset about. It had nothing to do with the show. It had to do with the fact that you...
it's because I called him a dipshit. That's
exactly. And you didn't even use his name. You didn't even use his name, and yet...
I hurt his fifis. Show me on the doll where Mike touched you.
And so then that's when he took it personally, and then he had to cause that whole scene. And that's what I mean. That's what I told him. I said, is what happened here was all the way wrong. I said it was poor business, and you made bad decisions on this. I said, and this will be the last time we're coming here. I'm a police officer, a former police officer of 15 years. And so there's no way that should have been handled that way. The officer didn't even speak with anybody. He just immediately was just trying to get you guys out of there. And when the employees and Brian, the showrunner, was escalating the situation, it wasn't even a matter of a discussion anymore. It was the police officer didn't even really talk to you guys or talk to them, really. It was just, all right, you guys need to leave. And then that's when I think, voices started to get raised, because you weren't heard at all. He wasn't getting anybody's side of the story. He just heard them say, we want them out of here, and then that's it.
I think we're missing a good part, though. There's a good part here. They knew who you guys were. They know the Wheelers. See that? Your name precedes. So high five to you guys. Obviously, NWI knows the Wheelers, and there you go. Clout.
Cool. It's like the Jack Sparrow line. But you have heard of me.
Right.
That was very interesting. And that was in front of our kids too, which is it was really kind of crappy.
Well, and we were literally right next to an area that they could have pulled you guys aside and talked to you guys about it. We were right in the aisleway, right at the front of the show, in view of everybody. I mean, it was handled so unprofessionally. And quite frankly, even from a law enforcement perspective, it was handled unsafely as well. I mean, he was the only officer there. The last thing I would want to do is to start escalating a situation with, a 6'6" guy who's, defending.
I told you I'm
wife.
6'6".
Yes, he's quite a bit smaller than Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
He was.
So, but I mean, just just common sense to me would be, okay, well, there's a problem here, so okay, let's pull it to the side so we can figure out what's going on.
I know he was excited because his nipples were hard.
And when he's reading it on your video, it's not even that bad.
I can show you the post.
Yeah,
Dude, it's the internet. Get over it. Like, you blocked him. If you didn't block him and you communicated, that's a lack of your customer service. And he has a right to comment that.
Is he the same guy that ended up causing all of this? He checked our wristbands as we walked in, because I walked in right behind Mike and the kids. And so he was like, okay, you guys got your wristbands, and we showed him. So he let us in. He let Mike in to begin with. And then later, Mindy came up and we started talking to her, and then she started signing some of my stuff. Then that's when he approached Mike, and and he was loud and aggressive to begin with. So the same guy let us in. Anyway, he let Mike in.
What I can say about the show was that I had a good time before Brian showed up. It's pretty small. I don't know how much fun it would be to exhibit. I definitely, though, will be sticking with a more reputable show in the future and not someone who thinks, who has such a bad attitude. It is not my intent to harm Brian's reputation with this video, but simply expose what happened, as I did, in fact, go there with the intention of writing an article about my experience at the show. So now you know. We have traveled to probably over 100 shows in the past, maybe more. We've never had a problem like this. And I'm very much looking forward to exhibiting more this year. And I can't wait to get back out there with actual larger, more reputable shows, professional showrunners who know how to run a show and don't go around and bother themselves with little Facebook posts and get real butthurt. There's a lot of much better shows out there that I will totally be attending. So happy to be attending. Grateful for every second to be there, and I can't wait.
What do we do though, sir?
I will show you in a second as soon as I find it, but it really doesn't matter. That's my deal.
You're kicking
Hi.
me.
What are you talking about? I ain't running your name through the mud. How? Yeah, I'm sure. Show me where I did it.
Everyone was saying that you were running my name through the mud.
No.
No, we're going
that's
out
not.
saying and gossip. It would be nice to have some confrontation because we bought tickets and we're not sure what is going on.
It's public. I can record anywhere. I don't need permission. I don't need permission to record.
Oh, man, I don't care if you record. You're good, man.
There, see, I just got his permission.
Yeah, your permission to record.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Great.
So what's the problem exactly? 'Cause we
I'm
don't know.
getting there.
This guy said that I didn't accept him at his show, that he was going to hand out 10,000 flyers to see him at C2E2. Little does he know that I contacted C2E2 and he's no longer welcome there. So I guess this is a reality check for you, brother.
So I'm sorry.
We've already paid.
You got us to C2E2 and you got us kicked out of the show because you think you saw a post
I know. And I'm
about
bringing
a
it up.
Facebook post that you said that we were going to hand out 10,000 flyers.
That's right.
Yep, and I'm bringing it up now as soon as I find it.
So you go out of our way to
So what's wrong with handing out flyers?
You realize that you blocked Mike on Facebook for
I
no
did.
reason. So why
You
don't
blocked
we
me for
have
no
a-
reason.
why
I
don't we
blocked
have
you.
a time to-
I do not want him at the show because he's already pissing me
You guys
off.
got to go. Okay, you guys got to go.
Okay, well then I want my tickets
Yeah, we
refunded.
would like our tickets refunded because we bought
Were they
here to be
refundable when you
here.
bought them?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be.
It said they were.
Well, I mean, if I'm not allowed in the show,
Inconvenience.
obviously they should be.
No, that's not the case. A lot
Okay,
of shows
so-
that happen here, if they're not refundable, they're not. Did it say they were refundable?
Yeah,
It does say that?
yeah, it does online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me show you the whole book. So there's this little local show, NWI Comic-Con, that I applied to exhibit at. Way smaller than C2E2, that accepted us, by the way. So after notifying us that he didn't want us at the show, dipshit blocks me on social media.
Which is what you did.
I did because I told you.
So I'm not dragging your name through the mud.
Why would you block?
Okay. Either way, we're going to refund it.
Yeah.
And
Here's
you
our money.
guys can bring it up later.
Okay.
Okay. We're not
Cool.
going to do it at the show.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right.
So you got us blocked from C2E2 because you got mad that Mike made a face.
Okay.
You know you can't do that.
That we're going to worry about later.
Well, we know
That we were going to worry about later.
Hey, don't yell at
Get
my
out.
wife, dog.
Get out. Don't interrupt me. And you won't get yelled at. Leave before you're arrested.
Let's go. Ain't no need to raise my
She's going to interrupt me. I'm going to raise my voice.
No, you know. I'll call your fucking sergeant.
I am the sergeant.
Then I'll call your captain, dumbass. Hey, go ahead and get a video running too.
Yeah, you go ahead. I got a voice recorder. Here's your marker back.
The indie community is going to love this.
What do we do though, sorry?
I will show you in a second as soon as I find it, but it really doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. Here, baby. You're kicking us out?
What are you talking about? I ain't ready to name.
I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sure. Show me where I did it.
Everyone was saying that you were running my name through the mud.
No.
So we're going off of saying and gossip? It would be nice to have some confrontation because we bought tickets and we're not sure what is going on.
Public. I can record anywhere. I don't need permission. I don't need permission to record.
No, man, I don't care if you record. You're good, man.
There, see, I just got his permission.
Yeah, your permission to record.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Great.
So what's the problem exactly? 'Cause we don't know.
Getting there. This guy said that I didn't accept him at his show, that he was going to hand out 10,000 flyers to see him at C2E2. Little does he know that I contacted C2E2 and he's no longer welcome there. So I guess this is a reality check for you, brother.
So I'm sorry, you
We've already
contacted
paid.
us to C2E2 and you got us kicked out of the show because you think you saw a post saying
I know.
about a Facebook post that you said that we were going to hand out 10,000 flyers. So what does that have to do with our? So you go out of our way to harm
So
our
what's
business?
wrong with handing out flyers?
Because you realize that you blocked Mike on Facebook for
I
no
did.
reason. So why don't we have
no
a
reason.
why don't we
Bless
have a time to?
I do not want him at the show
Why
because
can't
he's
we?
already
Why
busy.
can't
You guys
we?
gotta go. Okay. You guys gotta go.
Yeah, it's
Well, then I want my tickets refunded.
Yeah, we would like our tickets refunded because we bought here to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be.
We'll get you your money.
If
Well,
you're
I
going
mean,
to
if I'm
cause
not
us
allowed
the
in the show,
inconvenience,
obviously we should be.
No, that's not the case. A lot of
Okay.
shows that happen here, if they're not refundable, they're not. Did it say they were refundable?
Yeah.
It does say that?
Yeah, it does online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me show you the whole So there's this little local show, NWI Comic-Con, that I applied to exhibit at. Way smaller than C2E2, that accepted us, by the way. So after notifying us that he didn't want us at the show, dipshit blocks me on social media.
Which is what you did.
I did because I told you your book was inappropriate for my show.
why would you block?
Okay. Either way, we're going to refund it.
Yeah. Here's your
You
money.
guys can bring it up later.
Okay.
Okay. We're not going to do it at the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you got us blocked from C2E2 because
I
you
did.
got mad that Mike made a Facebook
Oh, no,
post.
you can't do that.
That we're
No,
gonna
you
worry about
can't
later.
do that. Well, we know we
That
can
we
take
were
that.
going to worry about later.
Don't yell at
Get
my
out.
wife, dog.
Get out. Don't interrupt me.
Don't yell
And
at
you
my
won't
wife.
get yelled at. Leave before you're arrested.
Let's go. Ain't no need to raise no voice.
You're going to interrupt me. I'm going to raise my voice.
Oops, sorry, baby. Come here, baby.
I'll call your fucking sergeant. Then I'll call your captain, dumbass. Fucking off duty anyway.